Imagine this, the soft glow of your screen illuminating your face late at night, the seamless swipe of your digital wallet paying for your morning coffee, the pervasive hum of connection that cradles your modern life. You believe you're navigating a world of unprecedented freedom and convenience, a landscape shaped by innovation and progress, where every problem has a technological solution just around the corner. But what if the very systems designed to simplify your existence are, in fact, laying the groundwork for a profound, insidious control? What if the future isn't just arriving, but being built around you, brick by digital brick, without you even realizing it? This isn't just about some distant, apocalyptic mark on your hand or forehead, a dramatic event yet to unfold. No, this is about a hidden reason, a subtle, creeping reality that every Christian needs to grasp right now, before it's too late. For generations, we've scanned the horizons for a singular, monstrous figure, missing the quiet, calculated precision of what's truly unfolding beneath our very feet. The scriptures, from the cryptic visions of Daniel, speaking of empires rising and falling, to the stark warnings of Revelation, painting a picture of a beast and a mark, and the prophetic urgency of Jesus in Matthew 24, all tell us to discern the signs. Yet most of us are looking for the wrong ones, blinded by sensationalism, missing the intricate dance of prophecy in our daily lives. Our big idea, the central truth we'll uncover today, is this: the Antichrist's emergence will not be a sudden, cataclysmic intrusion. Instead, it will be the calculated culmination of what we call the shadow protocol. This isn't just a theory. It's a meticulously orchestrated convergence of ancient prophecy, overlooked historical patterns, and undeniable present-day technological and geopolitical shifts. This protocol is subtly conditioning humanity for a false peace and ultimate digital dominion, making the mark of the beast not merely a futuristic implant, but a profound spiritual compromise already being tested in the very fabric of your daily life. The stakes, my friends, couldn't be higher. Ignore this and you risk not just temporal inconvenience, but spiritual deception, a slow, imperceptible drift into a system designed to sever your connection to truth, potentially leading to eternal separation. But understanding the shadow protocol arms you with unshakable discernment, allowing you to navigate the coming storms with clarity, protecting your faith, your family, and your eternal destiny. We're going to dive deep into how this protocol operates through three distinct yet interconnected phases. We'll explore 5 critical technologies that are paving the way, trace 4 historical empires revealing startling echoes of the beast's rise, and expose 7 undeniable signs of the times converging right now. This isn't abstract theology. This is the chilling reality that could reshape every aspect of your existence, from the mundane act of buying a coffee at your local Starbucks to the sacred act of worship. Are you ready to see the world as it truly is, not as they want you to believe? We are going to embark on a journey, peeling back the layers of what the Bible calls the shadow protocol, a meticulously orchestrated convergence of ancient prophecy, overlooked historical patterns, and undeniable present-day technological and geopolitical shifts. This isn't just about some distant future event. It's about a present, active force shaping your world right now. From the news headlines you scroll through on your phone to the apps that manage your finances. And it begins with what we call the preamble of persuasion. Imagine for a moment the collective anxiety that grips a nation after a natural disaster like Hurricane Katrina, or the profound uncertainty that followed the financial crash of 2008. The feeling of helplessness, the desperate need for a strong hand, a unifying voice, a system that promises to prevent such chaos from ever happening again. That's the fertile ground for the preamble of persuasion. It's where global crises, whether they are pandemics, economic meltdowns, or geopolitical tensions in hotspots like the South China Sea, are expertly leveraged. They don't just happen. They become catalysts. They foster a universal longing for order, for unity, for a peace that transcends borders and ideologies, even if that peace comes at a profound cost to individual liberty. You're told it's for the greater good, for stability, for safety. But beneath the surface, a more insidious agenda is at play. This isn't just about abstract political theory. It's about the erosion of the very foundations of freedom that America was built upon, piece by piece, crisis by crisis. The very concept of individual sovereignty, once cherished, is slowly being replaced by a collective dependence. And here's where the paradox truly hits. The very systems designed to bring us together, to make our lives easier, are the ones subtly tightening the grip. Every time you opt for convenience over privacy, every time you trust a benevolent authority to solve a complex problem, you are unknowingly participating in this preamble. It's not about a single villain. It's about the collective blind spot. But before we dive deeper into the 5 critical technologies making this possible and trace the 4 ancient empires that rehearsed its rise, you need to grasp this core truth. The Antichrist's emergence will not be a sudden, cataclysmic intrusion, but the calculated culmination of this very protocol. Hold on to that thought, because what comes next will reveal the chilling precision of this plan, especially when we examine the architects of access. This isn't some abstract future concept, it's already here, reshaping the very infrastructure of your daily life. Think of it as the meticulous construction of a digital cage, built not with bars, but with convenience, efficiency, and the promise of a better, more secure world. The architects of access are those who are, knowingly or unknowingly, designing the systems that will make the mandate of submission not just possible, but seemingly inevitable. And at the heart of this architectural marvel lie 5 critical technologies, each a foundational stone in the edifice of the Shadow Protocol. The first, and perhaps most immediate, is the rise of digital currencies. You see the headlines. Central banks across the globe, including here in the United States, are exploring or actively developing their own digital currencies. We're not talking about Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, which operate outside central control. We're talking about central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Imagine a world where every single transaction you make, from your morning coffee at Starbucks to your monthly rent payment, is not just digital, but also traceable, programmable, and ultimately controllable by a central authority. This isn't just about speed or efficiency, it's about unparalleled oversight. The Federal Reserve, for instance, has openly discussed a potential digital dollar, citing benefits like faster payments and financial inclusion. But what they often don't emphasize is the inherent power this gives to monitor and potentially restrict your spending. Consider the implications. If your funds are purely digital and centrally managed, your access to goods and services could be tied to compliance. Did you exceed your carbon footprint allowance? Perhaps your digital currency has a built-in spending limit on certain items. Did you express a dissenting opinion online? Suddenly, your digital wallet might face temporary restrictions. This isn't a dystopian fantasy. These capabilities are already being discussed in policy papers and think tanks. It's the ultimate inversion of culpability. The convenience you crave becomes the very mechanism of your constraint. Before you dismiss this as mere speculation, consider the recent discussions around the world where governments have shown a willingness to freeze assets or restrict financial access based on political or social behavior. This is the preamble of persuasion, leading directly into the architects of access, where global instability creates the demand for a stable digital solution. Unaware of the strings attached, this shift isn't just about currency, it's about redefining the very nature of economic freedom. It's about moving from a system where cash offered a degree of anonymity and individual sovereignty to one where every financial footprint is indelible and constantly scrutinized. The promise is security and efficiency. The reality could be a system where your economic life is entirely contingent on your adherence to an ever-shifting set of rules. And this is just the first layer. Because while digital currency controls what you can buy, The next technology begins to control who you are and where you can go. If this initial glimpse into the architects of access has already started to open your eyes, signal it now. Hit that like button and comment "digital control" below. It helps us know you're tracking these vital truths, and it helps us prepare more visual materials to break down these complex ideas for you. Hold that thought, because the implications of biometric identification are even more profound. Hold that thought, because the implications of biometric identification are even more profound. You see it every day. Your fingerprint unlocks your smartphone, your face grants you access to your banking app. Even boarding a flight at major US airports now often involves a quick facial scan. These aren't just conveniences. They are the subtle, pervasive rehearsals for a system designed to control not just what you can buy, but who you are and where you can go. It's the next critical layer of the architects of access, diligently building the infrastructure of the shadow protocol. Imagine a world not far from now where your unique biological data, your iris pattern, your voice print, your gait, becomes your universal ID. No longer just for your phone, but for every transaction, every entry point, every civic interaction. This isn't science fiction. It's already being piloted in various forms across the globe, and its integration into American life is accelerating. The promise, again, is efficiency and security. No more forgotten passwords, no more stolen identities. But the hidden cost is unimaginable. Now, consider the chilling convergence. What happens when your digital currency is inextricably linked to your biometric identity? If your access to funds, your ability to travel, your permission to work, or even your right to express certain views becomes contingent upon a system that requires your physical presence and approval via a biometric scan. This isn't merely about convenience anymore, it's about compliance. It's about a mechanism that can instantly grant or deny you access to the fabric of society, based on criteria you may not even be aware of. This is the ultimate digital dominion, slowly conditioning humanity for a false peace built on total oversight. Think about the everyday activities in your life. Going to the grocery store, filling up your car, even simply walking down a city street. What if each of these actions requires biometric verification? And what if, for whatever reason, your access is revoked? This isn't a theoretical inconvenience. This is the ritualized pain of being locked out of your own life, a profound spiritual compromise already being tested. The system would know everything about you, from your purchase history to your movements, creating an indelible, unerasable record. It's an inversion of freedom, where your very body becomes the key to your cage. The question then becomes, how will we resist such an encompassing grip when the very act of living becomes dependent on it? And this brings us to the next, even more startling, piece of this prophetic puzzle: the rise of AI-driven surveillance. AI-driven surveillance. This isn't just about cameras on every street corner, though those are multiplying faster than ever in our major cities, from New York to Los Angeles. This is about the invisible algorithms, the neural networks constantly learning, watching, and most critically, predicting your every move, your every purchase, your every interaction. Think about it. Your smartphone, your smart home devices, even the seemingly innocuous apps on your tablet, are all feeding a colossal, ever-growing digital brain. This isn't some distant sci-fi fantasy. It's the quiet, calculated precision of what's truly unfolding right now. The theoretical inconvenience of a system knowing too much quickly morphs into a very real, ritualized pain when that system begins to dictate your access. Imagine AI-powered facial recognition already deployed in airports and some public spaces, not just identifying you, but cross-referencing your digital footprint with a vast database. What if an algorithm designed to maintain social order or public safety flags you based on your online activity, your associations, or even your dissenting opinions? This isn't just about a future mark on your hand. It's about the subtle, creeping reality where your digital identity, curated and judged by artificial intelligence, becomes your passport to existence. We're seeing the early rehearsals of this. Predictive policing models in cities like Chicago aim to anticipate crime before it happens, but what happens when these systems are turned on you for thought crimes, for non-compliance with a global narrative? The data collected by every major tech company in Silicon Valley, from your search history to your health metrics, is already forming an indelible, inerasable record. This isn't just about marketing. It's about creating an infrastructure for seamless, inescapable control, precisely what we call the architects of access phase of the shadow protocol. It's conditioning humanity for a false peace and ultimate digital dominion, making the mark of the beast not merely a futuristic implant, but a profound spiritual compromise already being tested in the fabric of your daily life. The paradox is that these lines, seemingly unrelated, your smart doorbell, your fitness tracker, the terms and conditions you blindly accept, are converging, forming an irresistible current. And here's where everything shifts. What happens when this all-seeing, all-knowing AI isn't just observing, but actively enforcing the rules of a new global order? This isn't just a dystopian fantasy from a sci-fi movie. It's not about a physical shepherd with a staff, but an invisible hand, a digital one, nudging you or blocking you from the flock. Now, consider this. In some parts of the world, social credit systems already dictate whether citizens can get a loan, travel, or even send their children to certain schools, all based on their digital footprint and compliance scores. While many Americans might dismiss this as foreign authoritarianism, the seeds of such a system are quietly being sown right here. Think about your credit score, for instance, or the algorithms that approve your car loan or determine your insurance premiums. These are rudimentary precursors, yes, but they demonstrate the underlying principle. Your data, your behavior, translated into a score that grants or denies access. The problem is that we've been conditioned to accept convenience at almost any cost. We willingly trade privacy for seamless transactions, for personalized experiences, for a world where everything is just a tap away. But what happens when that tap requires more than just your fingerprint? What happens when it demands adherence to a specific set of beliefs, a particular political ideology, or a global narrative? And here's where everything truly shifts. What if your ability to buy groceries for your family, to pay your rent, or even to access your own bank account becomes contingent upon your digital compliance with a system that has little regard for individual freedom or biblical truth? This isn't about blaming you for using your smartphone or enjoying the ease of online shopping. The inversion of the culprit here isn't the individual citizen, but the very architecture of convenience that has been meticulously built around us, subtly eroding our autonomy. It's the system itself, masquerading as progress, that is the true adversary. Nobody tells you that every smart device, every digital interaction, every terms and conditions agreement you scroll past is a brick in the wall of this digital shepherd. And soon, that wall might become an inescapable enclosure. But before we dive deeper into how this enforcement mechanism will manifest in your daily life, you need to understand the historical patterns that reveal this isn't new, merely repackaged for a digital age. Think back to the grand empires of antiquity. Babylon, with its towering ziggurats and absolute decrees, demanded allegiance, literally forcing citizens to bow before golden images or face the fiery furnace. Then came Persia, whose laws, once set, could not be revoked, creating an unyielding framework for control. Greece, with its philosophical prowess, sought to unify the world under a single, rationalized culture, subtly eroding local identities. And finally, Rome, the ultimate architect of order, whose vast road networks, standardized laws, and imperial cult demanded not just obedience, but worship of the emperor himself. Each of these empires, in their own time, established systems that while offering perceived stability and progress, also laid claim to the individual's conscience and loyalty. They were all rehearsals, you see, for a final global stage. What we are witnessing today, through the lens of your smartphone and the convenience of modern life, is not a radical departure, but an insidious echo of these ancient demands. Consider the seamlessness of your Amazon Prime experience, the automatic payments, the personalized recommendations. It's all designed to make your life easier, to remove friction. But what if that friction, that slight inconvenience, was once a necessary barrier? A moment for reflection before full compliance. The ease with which we now share our biometric data for a faster airport security line, or the casual acceptance of location tracking for a better traffic update, mirrors the gradual concession of freedom for perceived benefit. It's the same ancient playbook, rewritten with algorithms and fiber optics instead of legions and stone tablets. This isn't just about your data. It's about your spiritual autonomy. Now, hold on to this. The Antichrist system won't demand your loyalty by force initially. It will win it through an irresistible promise of convenience, security, and global unity. A promise that sounds too good to be true, because it is. And here's where the historical patterns become chillingly relevant to your daily interactions with technology. The digital shepherd isn't just watching, it's learning. It's perfecting its methods. Observing how readily we trade privacy for a discount, how quickly we conform to digital norms for social acceptance. The ancient empires sought to control bodies and minds through physical dominion and propaganda. Today, the battlefield is shifting, becoming far more intimate, far more pervasive. It's in your pocket, in your home, in every tap and swipe. But before we reveal the 5 critical technologies that are accelerating this final phase of the Shadow Protocol, let's understand the subtle shift from observation to absolute enforcement. This is the chilling reality. The Shadow Protocol isn't a theory for tomorrow. It's the calculated culmination of today's conveniences, subtly conditioning humanity for a false peace and ultimate digital dominion. We've seen how ancient prophecies echo in modern tech, how every tap and swipe in your pocket, in your home, isn't just about ease, but about laying the groundwork for a system demanding absolute compliance. The Antichrist's emergence won't be a sudden intrusion, but the inevitable mandate of submission, blurring the lines between convenience and coercion. But here's the unshakable truth. Discernment is your shield. Understanding the Shadow Protocol arms you with clarity, allowing you to navigate these coming storms, protecting your faith, your family, and your eternal destiny. This isn't about fear. It's about urgent, lucid hope, empowering you to stand firm. If you've stayed with us through this deep dive, you are part of a community committed to seeing the world as it truly is. Click on the next episode now, because there, we will uncover the 7 spiritual disciplines for navigating the end times, giving you practical steps to fortify your spirit against the coming deception.